Hello, collective. This is Tan from Artemis Oracle. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. I just want to do a collective reading today. It's going to be for everybody, whoever it resonates with. If it resonates with you, please give this live stream a like, a share, a subscribe, a hype. So I'm going to get started. Have to find my deck. Where did I put it? All right, let's see. Hi, everyone. How you doing? Just so everyone knows, I'm not doing any readings today since I'm home. I don't do personal readings in my house. So I'm doing well, thank you. All right, I don't know, I just pulled these decks, but the one that I saw in my mind's eye is the What's the News deck. So I want to see what's coming out for the collective. Okay. So what does the collective need to know for the week ahead? Today in the U.S., it's Memorial Day or Remembrance Day for all the soldiers that have passed because they fought for our country's freedom. So we give thanks to them for their sacrifice, the greatest sacrifice, especially the soldiers who died with integrity, died protecting what the United States was initially, like the Constitution, what it was initially built on, you know. The sacrifice that they've made is the greatest one. Hi, Cave Ranger, how are you? Hi, Lion Sky. Okay, so I want to see what's going to be coming out for the week ahead. I am in my house. Hence all this evil eye stuff. I'm doing well, thank you. All right, let's see what the collective needs to know for the week ahead. So yesterday I received some more decks. Well, I bought more decks and they came in yesterday. So there was this specific one. It's called the Flower Child Tarot. I've seen this deck so many times before, but I never thought of purchasing it. I thought it was like too cutesy. It has like a 70s theme. No, because it's my bedroom. No bedroom tour. So, let's see. I'm not one of those people that like to share my space. I'm the type of person that does not allow people in my house. I'm very, very, very protective of my space. Okay, so the reason why I bought this specific tarot deck is because of this card. The Four of Cups. Yes, right? You have to protect your space. Nobody needs to know where all the nooks and crannies are. You know, I don't know how people do that. Like, this is my apartment. And no, that's sacred space. Have privacy. Create privacy. Nobody needs to know where you live. Anyway, so this card right here. You see this girl? She reminds me of me. I saw this and I was like, that girl, she looks just like me. I have to. Hi, Vivi. I was like, I have to get this deck. She looks like me. You don't really see me that way. You don't see me like without makeup. You don't see me like when I was younger. She reminds me of a younger version of myself. So I was like, oh gosh, I got to get that deck. But then also, like the Two of Pentacles also reminds me of me. When I have my hair long and curly. When I was younger. So I'm just sharing that because seems like a dumb reason to buy a tarot deck, but I was like, that girl looks like me. Both those girls, even the Empress, but that Empress card in here is just like very va-va-voom. A lot. Okay, so now back to you guys. What do you need to know for the week ahead? So this is the What's the News deck. Some of you may have a very boring life that doesn't have drama, doesn't have chaos, kind of like my life, you know, because I'm the drama in my own life. So, ooh, we got lust. Somebody's lusting. Are you lusting? Is somebody lusting after you? Are you lusting after somebody? Oh my gosh. Greed, bareback, and inconsiderate. Okay, we know lust is one of the 7 sins, 7 deadly sins. So, let's see what else comes out. Honeymooning, love on the brain, talking often, feeling all the feels. Okay, I mean, that's looking pretty good. especially with lust. You know, you're doing honeymooning, you're like connecting. There's a lot of feelings, all kinds of feelings, even the tinglies. Let's see what else. Let me just get all the cards out. Okay. One more. Okay. So the card that came out here, memories, missing someone, regression, revisiting the past. So someone is thinking of you. You may be thinking about somebody this week. The card, sneaky link. Why? Sneaky link. Hidden lover, low-key situationship. Situationship. I can talk. I can speak. I know English. It's my first language. Low-key situationship and side piece. I think I wanted to put situationship and piece together. Okay. Then we have harmony, balance, peace. Balance, peace, and happiness with harmony. Penny pitching. Financial struggles, saving up, budgeting. That's never a bad thing. Like, just to be not frugal to the sense like you're like the Four of Pentacles holding back your resources, like it's the last penny you own, but more so like being very careful about how you're spending your money this week. Karmics, third parties, haters, lesson learned. And then we have red flagged, warning signs, heed, take heed, risky situation. And it's interesting that it's under the sneaky link card. So it's like, oh yeah, be careful. Make sure you're not getting involved in any sneaky link situations. But sometimes sneaky link situations, I know it sounds like it's cheating, but sometimes people have secret relationships. I'll admit I had like a little secret thing going on, you know, but it wasn't like a third party situation. It was just like people didn't know. You know, it was just between me and that person. I'm single, they're single. It was what it was. We're just, you know, enjoying each other's company, sneakily. So sometimes it can be that, but sometimes it could be, like it says, low-key situationship, and sometimes it could be a side piece. Someone who's already in an established relationship, but then they're cheating on the side with someone, right? So I think I'm going to clarify each of these cards separately, but I'm going to read them all together. The blues, scared, heavy emotions, mixed emotions, mental distress. Sorry, why did I say mixed? Mixed emotions. Somebody could be feeling some sort of confusion, not sure how you're feeling. Maybe you're not sure how someone's feeling this week, but it says scared, heavy emotions, and mental distress. For some reason, I said mixed emotions. Okay, go with it. I had to reorder my Moonology decks too because my freaking Scorpio cards were missing, and I cannot use a deck if they're missing a card. So I just ordered a new set. That'd be so funny if these cards reappear. Let's see. Hi everyone. Hi Margarita. Okay, Margarita, you haven't been here in a while. Offensive deck? No. I have decks here that to troll people. Ooh, I don't know. Like, I would say stuff like this can be like, I do have some decks like that. I don't like to use them so much. It's so negative. Okay, let's read this all together. Okay, for some of you, I'm just going to look at it all together. When I think of the sneaky link, when I look at these two cards together, like the sneaky link cards, it's like these two people who just like, they just like spending time together. They enjoy each other's company. Like I was mentioning earlier with my situation. Well, I don't have that situation anymore. That's done. But these two people look like they enjoy being with each other. Like it's like they created a little space for themselves where they can spend time together, where they could talk, they can connect. But if it's a situation that ended, that maybe it started off as lust, then now, you know, it has ended. You know, some people, they're in a situation. This is not about me, please. Yes, I'm all about positive. I don't want negative shit. Like bad shit happens, negative shit happens. However, I don't want to sensationalize it like some people do. I don't like that, you know. Like some people fare well with that. For me, I don't. I like having my nervous system nice and calm. I appreciate peace. I grew up in very chaotic household and I value peace now, you know? So I feel like if some of you were in a situation, ship type of a thing, right? Or it may be transitioning into one where you're like, it may be becoming serious. But also there could be some sort of time and space, some distance between you and this person where you or them are reminiscing. You're looking back on the memories. You may be missing each other. Some of you may be missing the intimacy that you had together. I mean, that's how it is sometimes, right? But some of you may have decided to move away from the situation, or you may be considering moving away from the situation this week because you feel like you had to rebalance your life. You need to get your things together, get your life together. You know, now that I'm saying that, it's making me think about, like, you know, sometimes you could put all your eggs in one basket, but then you don't reap the rewards of that, and then you end up missing out. You end up in lack. So it's about you in some way restoring your balance, restoring your emotional and energetic currency, you know, bringing that back up, maybe taking a break from someone or something so you could get that back. Some of you, it could have been like a karmic relationship where it was meant to teach you something, where you were supposed to learn a lesson, maybe learn a lesson about creating boundaries, a lesson about what it is that you truly want. If you want a real committed relationship, or if you want to continue engaging in sneaky link type situations, right? For some of you, with the red flag card coming out, some of you could be coming to the realization, or you're getting information letting you know that the sneaky link that you were involved with was a karmic situation, right? That could be that. But it could also be a situation that it may be discovered, you know, that other people may be finding out about it, but also that maybe the person was involved with another person, you know, like they were already in a relationship, right? That could be why someone isn't in their blues. Someone's feeling depressed, sad, possibly regretful, overthinking. Look at this. Spilling the beans, revealing secrets, cats out of the bag, untrustworthy. So some of you may be learning the person you may have been dealing with could be someone that wasn't trustworthy, someone that wasn't being completely honest with you. You've probably felt like you were duped in some way, you know, and you may be putting up your guards, maybe protecting yourself from this person. And maybe this is what's coming up this week, or this is something that you've already come to terms with, or you've already learned, and now you're putting up your boundaries to protect yourself, to rebalance yourself, get back in, like, get your life back in order, reprioritize things, because you may have prioritized this situation more than anything, you know. Let me see something else. With honeymooning and penny pinching, some of you, if you're already in a relationship and the sneaky link shit does not apply to you, you know your relationship is healthy, you're honest, you're open, there's a lot of transparency. Some of you may be needing to save money because you might be getting engaged. You might be planning a wedding already and you haven't really decided if you wanted to go on a honeymoon. Money can be a factor with that. So I would suggest, if you're already thinking about planning a honeymoon, to start looking at your finances, seeing where you need to make certain adjustments so that you can have the honeymoon that you would like, whatever it is. I know it's going to cost some money, but it's going to require you to really look at your finances, look at where you're spending, where you need to cut down, what expenses are frivolous, like you can get rid of, or what are necessary, in order for you to, you know, take some of that money and put it towards a honeymoon. Let me see. I'll try to look at these cards in a different way to see if I get different messages. Okay, I already did the sneaking link and the red flagged, the memories and karmic. So, see, because the third party, that goes together too. Yeah, for some of you, the sneaky link situation could have been something that happened in the past, and it's something that's coming up. It's like something that's being revisited. If you were married if you were married, if you are married, and you already know your partner was already being unfaithful, I don't know, like for some of you, could it be like an anniversary of when you found something out? Sometimes that happens, and then these things just come up, all the emotions and everything, but it's going to require you to find some sort of balance. You know, if you're still with a person who may have committed some sort of adultery and you're still in a relationship with them, then this is about like coming to terms, because sometimes the memories come up and then so do the emotions. So some of you may still be healing from the betrayal. So this may be a time for you to make sure that you're focusing on the positive, having those conversations with those intimate conversations, because in the honeymooning card, it looks like that type of thing where you're having an intimate conversation with somebody, with your partner. I don't know, for some of you, could you be like renewing your vows too? It could be some of you may be renewing your vows. That came up as well. Okay, so yeah, some of you may be learning something too. It could be outside of this lusty, karmic-y, third-party, sneaky link situation. Some of you may be finding out news this week that's probably gonna upset you, maybe saddening to you. I would just say, if this is something that you're maybe anticipating, I would say prepare yourself as much as you can, you know, as much as you can. Especially if it has to do with some sort of financial issue, like a settlement, maybe like a bill that you didn't expect, something that you thought you couldn't get resolved, but it doesn't get resolved. That may be a cause of stress and concern for you. But like there could be some sort of secret coming out too that maybe put you in the blues, put you in this depressive state. Hopefully, you know, like this could, like me letting you know, could prepare you, especially if you already know this. Remember, readings are only meant to provide you confirmation of what you already sense, what you already know. Because I don't know who I'm reading for. Everybody's situation is so different. You know, some people are just single. They're not dealing with anybody. Some people were in unfaithful marriages, relationships. Some people were in sneaky link situations like me, you know. But yeah, just the most important thing is like whatever happens this week, it's important for you to maintain your equilibrium, maintain yourself emotionally and mentally. Be grounded. Be grounded. Find ways to ground yourself. Just focus. Like I like to do, I like to journal. I like to write down everything that I'm grateful for. If you're going through a challenging time and you don't really see nothing good happening or anything good happening in sight, just focus on what it is that you have now that you value, what you appreciate, what you're grateful for, you know. Like one of the things I write is like, I'm grateful for this moment to express my gratitude. Like to be able to sit down, grab a notebook and a pen and write down what I'm thinking or what I'm grateful for is something to be grateful for, because not many people can do that, you know. So it's just like, look for the things that you are grateful for, you know. So I don't want to clarify this. I don't want to clarify that. People will know the situation. They don't need me to take tarot cards to clarify it. It's good to see you back here, Margarita. Hi, Jenny. Yeah, peace is so important, especially once you're able to find it. You know, once you're able to find peace, it is so important to maintain it. And the thing is, we're in control of that. That's our responsibility. You know, that's our job. Okay, let me see. All right, put that deck away. I'm gonna leave it there. Let me see. I'm gonna go into the Sassy Spirits Oracle deck. I wonder if, yeah, I didn't want to clarify that stuff. No. Okay, well, let's see what else you need to know for the week ahead. What else does the collective need to know for the week ahead? So just so everyone knows, I'm just putting it out there because I finally reached the achievement of being able to have my videos hyped, being able to receive super chats, thanks, stickers, all that. I'm so happy. I know some people were asking about it, so now it's available. It's now available to anybody who wants to give, you know. I just like having the option now. It's, to me, it's an achievement, you know, to have that available to me. And it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for my subscribers and the people watching the videos, my live streams and the replays. So all this wouldn't be possible without my subscribers and viewers, because not everybody that watches is a subscriber. Okay, what does the collective need to know at this time? Thank you. So are any of you doing anything fun today besides watching me? I was joking with my kids' father. I was like, if I go live today, I'm gonna say I'm not at a barbecue because I don't have friends to invite me to a barbecue. Oh, 7 likes and 7 people here. Cool. Now there's 8 people here. So if you're new here, my name is Tan. Artemis Oracle is my channel. I'm an oracle and tarot card reader. And right now I'm doing a week ahead reading for the collective. So funny, I saw this card at the bottom of the deck earlier. Let me see what else. That card flips. I think we'll stick with those 3 cards. And the bottom of the deck we have your spirit guides are face palming. Okay, what are you doing this week to disappoint your spirit guides? Huh? Are you ignoring red flags again? We had red flags earlier, right? Okay, don't make it a message just because it was inconvenient. Okay, this is so funny because right here I see the Pisces signs. So some of you may have Pisces in your chart. Maybe it's a sign. Okay, so, you know, sometimes things happen. You know, they say, oh, if you lose something, like if you're like getting ready to leave the house and something delays you, there's a reason why. It could be that. But sometimes it's just you being irresponsible. So make sure that you have your things available for you. Like you prepare yourself for the week, for the day. Sometimes things happen. But sometimes it is a sign. But you will know what it is. You know? Like, because they're showing this guy, he spilled coffee. Oh, maybe it's a sign I'm not meant to drink this coffee. No, the sign is you're clumsy. You know? You know? I know sometimes us in the spiritual community, we could be, we could think that we see angel numbers all the time, right? Sometimes we could look up and we see 1111 on the clock. But the thing is, when you see certain signs, you have to see how they relate to anything. You know, like if you're seeing 1111 or 111, they say you have to think about what it is that was on your mind at the time you saw 111, right? 1111, they say it's about making a wish, right? And other numbers, I can't remember what all the other numbers mean right now. And nor do I want to spend the entire live stream doing that. You could Google it, you know, that's easy. But certain things are signs. Some things are simply just accidents. So the way to discern what that is like what's going on. What are you thinking? And what you see, does it align with what you were thinking, what you were feeling, you know? Like for me, music is something that comes to my mind, you know, but usually the music is tied to someone else's emotions. For as long as I can remember, I could tie a certain song to what I believe somebody was experiencing or feeling, you know. So spiritual people can also block people. So just because you're someone who believes in a higher source and forgiveness and everything, that doesn't mean you don't have to put up boundaries. You still are a human being and you still need to protect yourself. You need to protect your energy. You need to protect your space. So anybody that's telling you that you should be open and free and allow anyone in to take whatever they want, stay away from those people. Okay? They don't know what sounds like a cult member or cult leader saying that. All right, and you wanted red flags, not a damn parade. So some of you may be seeing a lot of red flags. A lot of red flags. But still, you're not paying heed. You're not listening to the warnings. And maybe this is why you have to see the red flags, as many red flags as you may be seeing. And the red flags can be pertaining to a person. It could be a situation. It could be your environment. It could be your job. It could be anything. Anything that's basically letting you know something isn't right. You know, sometimes you need to see the whole parade in order for it to knock you on the head, for you to get, you know, be aware. And I can speak from my own experience, you know. I would say you see one red flag. Depends on the red flag, though. You take heed. If it is applying to some sort of standard that you have or boundary that you have, then that's something that that has to be addressed, especially if it's involving a person, right? But if it's like little things, like, are there really red flags, or are the little things that are tied to your insecurities or fears that you use as red flags to basically self-sabotage, you know? And the bottom of the deck, your spirits are face palming you. So there's like something that you're not really seeing, you know? Maybe there is a sign, but you're not seeing it. Maybe some of you are receiving signs and you're not paying attention to them. Maybe you're rationalizing them and saying, oh, that was just an accident, you know? You know, I was saying the opposite earlier, but sometimes it could be the reverse. Like, actually, the sign is something, you see something, but you just rationalize it as being like an accident or an inconvenience, you know, a coincidence. Some people are like that. Some of you may need to block somebody because for some reason you're not seeing the red flags. Like, they're being paraded in front of you, but you're not seeing them. And that could be why the spirit guides are face palming. You know, sometimes you could think somebody's a good person, but they may not actually be that, especially if you're getting the signs that they aren't. If they're doing things, if they're red flags, especially that are connected to you and your boundaries, your comfort level, but you somehow be like, oh, the person's not doing that to hurt me. The person's not doing that to upset me. Maybe you're just giving too much of, you could give people the benefit of the doubt, but don't give it so much where you're becoming a victim, you know, a victim to something or someone, you know. So pay attention to the red flags when it comes to that, because they're being shown loud and clear. There's like a whole parade, there's music, there's a marching band, everything. But for some of you, you may be impervious to it. You're not paying attention to them. Okay, let me see something. I'm trying to think of what else I should do. All right, but that's for the week ahead. Thank you so much for being here today. I wonder if anybody doing anything fun? Like, did you go to a barbecue or anything? Because over here it was raining, but the weather got better. And so people started having their little barbecues kind of late. Let's see, what else does the collective need to know? What truths they need to know for the week ahead? What messages do they need to know for the week ahead? The bonfire card came out anyway. That's the card I put back in the deck. Ooh, there's something that you need to release. Something needs to be released. Oh gosh, what's this? I'm gonna put these other cards away. Bonfire, safe haven, flame, home, dance, home, sing and dance. And then single, isolation, independent, alone. And then letting go, surrender, open, give up, release. And then the bottom is passionate love, thorns, in short, with rose. Just a specific card that's coming to my mind. It's situational singles, when you choose to be single. Someone choosing to be alone, to be independent, to isolate. Sometimes, okay, I know what this is. Okay, you know, fire has to do with purity. Fire is used to purify, to cleanse, right? So some of you may have chosen to go alone, hermit, be on your own, because there was certain things that you need to work out on your own without anybody interfering with it. The motorcycle. I feel like some of you had to. Now I'm thinking about a snake shedding its skin. You know, I feel like there's like, I don't know, I see a snake shedding its skin. Now, I don't know if they do this. Like, I don't know how snakes do this. Do they go somewhere by themselves? Like, they hide themselves away while they're shedding their skin? Or do they do it where anybody can see it? That's the thing I don't know. You can let me know in the comments or in the chat. But I'm just imagining somebody who decided to go on their own to cleanse themselves, to cleanse their energy. Like retreated. Someone retreated because there was something that they needed to release, something that they needed to shed. It could be, I don't know, somebody, it's like surrendering. Somebody is surrendering something. I want to clarify this. What deck do I want to use? What deck? Oh my gosh, I have so many decks. I want something that has, I think I want to go with this one. I want to go with my Wild Reflections deck. Because sometimes I want something that has more imagery in it than traditional Rider-Waite. Okay, I want to clarify. Just guys, please tell me what the bonfire card is. What's the bonfire card? That's for the collector. That's for the highest price. Getting messages that they need to make sure that just collector needs to make for the highest price. Cards. I want to know about bonfire. I'm going to clarify bonfires, right? Tell me about bonfire. What is this bonfire card? Hello. Ha! The devil. And she said, I swear I'm not the devil. What you think I am? It's making me think of that song from Stained. Swear I'm not the devil. One more. I think somebody is trying to get rid of things that were blocking their happiness. Like blocking some sort of wish fulfillment. With the Nine of Cups and the Devil and bonfire, somebody was trying to rid themselves, cleanse themselves of any toxic energies, toxic belief systems, mindsets, behaviors, addictions, attachments. And they were doing this because their happiness was at stake. Some sort of wish fulfillment was at stake. If they didn't do this cleanse, whatever it is, I remember like the past few weeks, I've been talking about cleanses, different types of cleanses. Look at this. Oh my, why? Okay, see, I was about to start shuffling, but I messed up a deck. Yes, somebody was like not making some sort of decision. It was with Judgment card in reverse. Something was stuck. Like something wasn't, like there was a decision that wasn't being made. You know, sometimes you have to release certain things. You have to get rid of certain things, clear space for certain things. But I think somebody, someone, one of you, this is for the collective, however it resonates, you may be holding on to something that is blocking you, that's toxic. And you, it's like you have to make that decision. And this is something that may be coming up this week too. You have to, it's something you have to release. It's blocking you. Blocking your, I feel like it has to do with love. Some of you may be blocking your heart. You're not allowing yourself to receive love. But the thing is when you don't allow yourself to receive love, you don't even receive the love from yourself. Self-love. So some of you may be blocking that from yourself. That could be the toxic thing you're doing. Not loving on yourself, not nurturing yourself, not caring for yourself. You know? That's also blocking your abundance in some way. With the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So it's like some of you definitely need to consider this week doing some sort of cleanse if this is not something you've already started. If you don't release this, you're going to have, this week, some of you are going to have to be on your own. You can't go out. You can't entertain other people. You're going to have to be alone. You're going to have to go hermit. And this is so that you can allow yourself to shed, to remove something, to work something out. It's not that easy. This is a process. Some of you have already been working on this, but this is like the final stretch, you know, for some of you. Because something good can be coming, but it's not being allowed in because of whatever toxicity you're holding on to. It could be a toxic person, a toxic habit, a toxic belief, attachment, addiction. I'm gonna keep those cards there. I saw the the Queen of Wands. It could be something that's also tied to your confidence, your self-confidence. Okay, so I want to know about the single card for the collective, because earlier I was saying somebody had to go on their own to shed skin, to purify, to cleanse themselves. But you cannot do this with other people. You need to do this on your own. When we're born, I know we have our mother there and the doctors if we're in the hospital, whatever. But if you think about it, we're alone in the womb, inside the womb. Our mother isn't in the womb. She's outside the womb. She carries the womb. Yes, I get that. Okay. But this is like metaphorical. You're born alone. Some of you may be going through a rebirth. But you need to do this on your own. Okay, then this isn't your reading, shapeshifter. Single. Okay, tell me about single. Ain't nothing wrong about loving yourself, and that's the thing. I think that's what we're told to sacrifice ourselves for other people. But that's not how it's supposed to be. Single. The Six of Wands and the Strength card. Six of Wands with the Strength. This is Leo energy. This is learning how to tame that beast. Successfully learning how to tame that beast. Tame like your fears, your insecurities, your doubts. Like I said, in order for you to do this, you're going to have to do this alone. It's like, in a way, it's like you're nursing yourself back to health. Nursing yourself back to yourself. You know, you need to, the only way that this will be successful is if you're doing this alone. You have to be alone. Some of you may be thinking about some sort of retreat or going out in nature. I'm saying like I see a lot of deer, so I'm thinking forest, like hiking or camping, something like that that allows you to ground yourself to, because it's definitely about grounding, definitely about grounding yourself. Like quelling your insecurities, your fears, even the parts of you that may like embody this like fiery energy that's shown up in the bonfire card too, which is very like interesting. Then we have the bonfire, and then we have Leo showing up. Some of you have Leo in your chart. Scorpio, Earth, the devil is Capricorn. So Capricorn, but the Queen of Pentacles, I believe she's Capricorn. Well, I'll say all the Earth signs. Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. But Six of Wands and the Strength card, that's Leo energy too. I feel like some of you definitely need, there's something that you need to shed. I think it could be you shedding a persona. Allowing yourself to be seen for yourself, not like who you've been showing up as. Shedding a persona. Like, I'm like, now I'm at, like, it's like taking off this mask that you've been wearing. And not allowing yourself to be criticized. Or maybe this is what it is, that some of you really haven't been authentic with yourselves because you felt like you were going to be criticized, that people were going to judge you, that people weren't going to see your value anymore. Because if you were a specific way, like say you were an overgiver and you no longer do that, you know that's going to change how people look at you, how they see you. And some people, if they saw you as always someone who was always there, who was always giving, who was always like available, a call away, and you're no longer that, you feel like you're going to lose that identity that you created, this persona that you created. But the thing is, you created it to please other people, but you were doing it to your own detriment. So yeah, it's nice to please people, but doing that could be toxic to yourself. You know, that could be blocking you from your own happiness because you're overly accommodating to what other people need, but you're sacrificing what matters to you, you know. And that could be what this Judgment card is too. You give your love away to other people, but you have not given it to yourself. And you feel like you doing that is what's going to make you look like a certain type of person. That makes you look good about yourself, you know, like it's going to make you, like it gives you value. It makes you feel important. But the thing is like, once you take away this identity of being the person that people who go to, the one that they can call for a ride or for an errand or whatever, then they're not gonna, you're afraid that they may not look at you the same way. But this is about you creating boundaries. You know, for some of you, you need to create boundaries, you know, and that boundary is what self-love is. It's interesting that I'm saying boundaries, and in her hand, it's not even in her hand, it's like in her shirt, and it's showing mountains and stuff. But it kind of looks like those fences. I don't know if you know those fences that like you could open it like that, and it has like the V's. I don't know, look at this image. I don't know if you can really see right here. It's like one of those fences that you could open, like you could pull it and then open it, but then you could pull it shut, and it's like it closes in on itself. That's what the boundary is. I feel like that's what I'm seeing with that. It looks like one of those fences, like accordion. I don't know what the hell to call it. But this is about you, like, feeling complete, whole, and proud of who you are without being a sacrificial lamb. Without you having to sacrifice your happiness. Sacrifice whatever it is that you would love to put your attention to. Whether it's yourself or some sort of creative endeavor or a job or some pursuit, something that's just for you. And I saw the Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck. It's like making a choice. Like Two of Wands, like being at a crossroads, deciding which path you're going to take, what action you're going to take. But it's like, it's all simply about releasing, letting go. Surrendering control too, because sometimes when we're like this in this energy where we want to create, we like have control over how we show up, how people see us, because we're curating ourselves to appear a certain way. But then when you like dropping that, you release that from yourself, you're surrendering yourself to the act that you've been keeping up. you know. Okay, so, all right, the letting go, the chariot in reverse. It's like this is a time to be, like this is the week where you may have to not be so active. This is where you're going to have to take time to rest, to not, basically, I don't want to say be lazy, but this is a time not to act. This is a time to rein yourself in. And this is a mechanism to help you heal. Some of you may be feeling like doing that, but not. Letting go, surrender with the chariot. Because of the chariot, he's directing the car where it's going to go. For some of you, if you let go of control, you don't know where those horses are going to lead you. You know, they may not lead you anywhere, or they may take you somewhere you don't expect to go. Because, you know, look, if those are wild horses and they're allowed to roam free and you're not like controlling, you're not steering them, then yeah, this is chariot. You have to be alone. Six of Pentacles. Wait. Let me see something. Some of my cards are in reverse. But I don't have to read them. I can read them like this is. Yeah, this is what I'm getting, because when I saw this about the Hierophant is about institutions, learning, being a student, learning from someone who's more wiser, being more, it's traditional, right? Very traditional, like church, law, court, school, that type of thing. But I feel like, yeah, this is just like the same, like the Six of Pentacles. This is about generosity. But if in the reverse, this is like, no, you gotta like rein yourself in. Don't be giving too much. Also, stop overly committing to things. I don't know if like who this resonates with, that you commit to things. Like people give you things and you commit to doing them, even though you may not even want to, but you feel like you're doing something because maybe some of you may do this because you feel like it gives you value. It makes you feel needed. But the thing is, you're doing yourself a disservice because, yeah, you feel needed, but when are you going to take time for yourself? When you're doing shit for everybody else. You know? When are you going to make time for yourself? So some of you are going to have to surrender, like being overly giving, overly committing to things, always being the one to take the call, you know, the one that responds to the call to action, you know. This is about you taking time to reconnect with yourself. Maybe some of you even lost yourself. Now, I'm like, what is this rose thing? Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting. Because underneath is the independent, free, lead, initiative. With the rose. For some of you, if it's connected to... Some of you, your name could actually be Rose. Or Rosa. Rosalind. Rosalind. Roswell. That's New Mexico, right? I'm thinking about Rosewood now. Okay, whatever. That may mean something to somebody. Hello, Imaginary Corner. Hi, Tichi. So yeah, this is like about you. Definitely. Some of you may need to take a short break. It could be a short break. It doesn't have to be a long break. But it's just this week, just make sure to take time to yourself. Because there's something that needs your attention, you know? There's something that needs your attention. Now let me see how this relates to love. Like for some of you, you could have been having a passionate love affair with somebody, but you may be deciding to go your own way, release the situation. It could be hard to release this because with the devil card being here, it's because there's a strong attachment. Like you possibly thought this person was your wish fulfillment, but you're realizing that maybe this attachment wasn't really the healthiest for you. It may have been a toxic attachment. You may have felt like this person was home, but sometimes when you've been through a lot of toxic situations, and maybe what you're used to and home may not have been the safest place for you, right? So the devil and the Nine of Cups. So like, yeah, definitely there's some sort of like, if relating to the Rose card, some of you are definitely having to put yourself out there, I would say, because underneath the Independent card is the Street card, circulation, sports, and exhibit. For me, like if you see the Independent and the Street, don't be for the streets, because maybe the person you're dealing with is for the streets, but it's about you moving away from some short-term love relationships, things that really weren't meant to work out, really weren't meant for you. May have been toxic attachments, maybe a bit of codependency too. But right now it's seeming like it's time for you to spend on your own. Put yourself out there, possibly. Maybe even focusing more so on work, like on your finances, your finances, work, your career, instead of this relationship. I feel like if you decide this is something that you have to consider, it's saying that if you go single, that with the Six of Wands, you're going to see a lot of things changing and manifesting. You're probably even going to see something change within yourself. Maybe in this, you moving away is going to show you how powerful, how strong you are, that are able to move away from a connection that may not have been the healthiest for you. And with you releasing that's what's allowing you to in some way free yourself up from anything that may have been taken from you, where you have been giving, where you've been overly giving, cutting yourself off from a situation that wasn't going to lead to some sort of commitment, a situation that wasn't even going to go anywhere. Like it wasn't going to go anywhere. There wasn't going to be any equal reciprocity. There wasn't going to be no marriage, and there isn't going to be any forward movement. There wasn't going to be any success. And that your success is going to be on your own. What you do on your own. This decision is one that you had to make based off love, Sometimes you have to choose yourself. Because if you've been overextending yourself for someone in a relationship, especially one that was seemingly not going to go anywhere, you were basically neglecting yourself with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Because the Queen of Pentacles is someone that is very, she's nurturing, she's loving, she's caring, she values, she loves and nurtures what she values. She's also a businesswoman. So for some of you, this situation that you could have been dealing with, that you may be considering releasing and moving away from, is a decision that you're going to have to make out of love. It's a decision that needs to be made out of love. And as long as you don't choose this, choosing not to love yourself, to put yourself first, you're also choosing to neglect yourself, to abandon yourself in some way. Also putting yourself in a situation where you won't be seeing growth. This is the Ace of Wands. You want there to be growth. You want to see expansion for yourself. This situation was going to be limiting to you in some way or another. And it could have been like, not limiting, it could be limiting in other areas of your life, but also limiting yourself to the type of love that you could receive. Someone that could love you openly. Because we said the sneaky link card earlier, right? Someone who can love you openly, someone who can spend time with you. You could plan for the future, have a honeymoon, plan a honeymoon together. just see growth and balance within the relationship, and a harmonious relationship with the harmony card earlier. But it's like you have to choose yourself. It's about you choosing your autonomy, your independence. And when you do that, you're gonna see some financial opportunities open up for you, like new jobs, new creative endeavors, even you starting to take better care of yourself, nurturing yourself. You being more assertive about the decisions you make, because you're making them out of love, self-love. You got to do what's best for you, you know. So that's something that needs to be considered this week. Now, yeah, I just put the deck and I saw the ascending card, divine timing. Okay, yeah, you got to let go of the trash. La basura. Gotta go. I probably said it wrong. Okay, let's see. So, I've been on for 56 minutes. And let's see what the collective needs to know when it comes to love. Like, I want to do actual love spread. Like a no contact situation. I want to do this deck. I want to use this deck. The Message of Love Oracle deck for... So just so everybody knows, I'm not answering questions today. And I'm going to be changing how I do things when it comes to questions. Moving forward, which has always been my plan. Okay. So if you're disappointed, I'm sorry. But when I started this live stream, I said I wasn't going to answer any questions. Okay. So let me see. What message of love do we have for the collective, for the situation that they may be in? Whether it's their love relationship, no contact, low contact. Just for people who are dealing with other people. Situationship, sneaky links. Somebody who has somebody. Whether not everybody knows you have that person, you know? Okay. What does the collective need to know? Ooh. Okay, that landed there. Oh, that goes there. Oh, wow. Neglected. I failed to give you what you need. Wasn't that something we were talking about in the tarot reading earlier? Okay. All right. First card, we have a shadow side. You made me realize my flaws. So someone is becoming enlightened and illuminated to what they're doing wrong, what they need to work on, what things they need to heal within themselves. Sometimes we could be a mirror to other people. Understanding, I see your side of the story. So this person is understanding your side of the story because they're seeing their flaws. And they can see how they've caused damage. We are both hurting from this. There may have been some sort of disagreement. Something was said, something was done. Somebody may have been a runner because I don't want to run anymore. The person doesn't want to run from you anymore. Maybe you don't want to run anymore. Maybe you're tired of running. Maybe your sneakers need to be changed because you've been running so long. And then third party, there were other things that got in the way of both of us being together. So the thing about third party situations is there could be another person involved, but it could be other things involved. You know how some people put their career ahead of love? Career could be a third party. Some people have obligations like the family, like say they're taking care of an older parent, third party. Child, third party. Another person, third party. There could be different things. Insecurities, fears, limitations, third party, you know? But you will know your situation more than I do. So holding back, I should have expressed myself better. So someone should have told you something. They should have let you know how they felt, how maybe this is where the lack of understanding was before, because there was a lack of open communication. Like someone was holding back. Maybe somebody was telling you part of the story, but not telling you the whole story. Space, I need more time to think. So someone is considering what went wrong in your connection. They're considering what actions they want to take. This could also be your energy as well. Please switch them as you see fit. And guilty, I feel pain from the damage I have caused. See, someone feels guilty. Someone feels guilty for the damage they've caused. They may have done or said something to you that caused you to run away from them. This person could have neglected you in the relationship. They probably didn't give you enough attention, didn't spend enough time with you, probably didn't put in as much effort as they should have. But now they see, they understand. And I say with the shadow side, it could be them understanding the reasons why. And reasons are not excuses. You know, I say this because the understanding people's reasoning is just gives us an understanding of them, right? However, it doesn't excuse certain behaviors. It doesn't excuse people from doing things that hurt other people, right? But this person is like having a better understanding of why, you know, what got in the way of that. Okay. So shadow side, understanding. So someone is becoming more enlightened to their flaws. Maybe they're understanding why they feel like I need more time to think, shadow side. They may be reflecting on their own experiences and the reason why they could have been neglectful towards the connection. That's where the understanding can be coming from within themselves, because now they've seen your side of the situation. Some of you could have flipped the script on this person and now they're seeing your side because they're on your side right now. You know what I mean? Like you put them in the same place they put you. And now that's where the understanding is coming in. This is where they're becoming, where they have clarity over what happened. Maybe, like I said, there could have been third-party situation, a person, place, or thing that was interfering. Doesn't have to be that we're cheating, that they were messing around, that they were talking to other people. Sometimes it's that, and you will know that. You will know that. You know, you will sense that. This person could have, like, definitely understands your feelings and how they could have been more open with you, sharing their feelings with you, sharing what they wanted out of the connection with you, or even sharing like stuff that they experience that can help you understand why they are the way they are in the relationship. You know, so with this, whatever happened between you and this person, this time and space was needed for them to gain a better understanding of their part and why you moved away. You know, maybe they were the runner and now you're the one who's turned your back. Maybe you're not even running. They were the runner. But now they don't want to run anymore. This person may want to come back. It says, I don't want to run anymore, but that doesn't say they want to come back. You know, it does say I need more time to think. If this person does come back this week, you may be like, I need more time to think, because maybe this time by yourself has given you a different perspective of how different things can be too. The space allowed you to have a better understanding, maybe about them, about what you wanted, how something wasn't right, how you probably were giving and the person was just taking, you know, or maybe they were just giving the bare minimum. And, you know, sometimes people, they can only give you what they have. You know, not everybody has as much as, like what you have, someone may not have as much to give, you know. So let's put that out there, because sometimes we were like, you're not giving me enough, but it's because this person doesn't have that much to give. So sometimes we gotta use that statement accordingly, because sometimes people can have a lot more to give, but they're very stingy. You know, they just take, but they don't give. even though they have a lot to offer. But some people are limited in some ways. Maybe they're very busy with work, trying to pay bills, money, all that stuff, all that, you know, those are reasons, not excuses, you know, but that's why communication is so important, you know. So this is what I'm getting. Like someone has a better understanding of the damage they caused in the relationship, how they probably weren't giving you enough time, love, or energy, and they can understand why you need the space, more space to think about whether or not you want them to come back, if you are willing to take them back. They do feel a level of guilt for the pain that they caused. So they know they hurt you, but they know that they hurt themselves at the same time by not being more open and honest about their feelings, not sharing exactly what was going on in their life that was a blockage in your relationship. But you also help this person see certain flaws. And sometimes people do the same to us. We see flaws within ourselves too, you know, because it could go both ways, you know. I mean, if it's a situation where you're both learning from, because hopefully, regardless of what's going on, whenever we connect with people in a romantic way, we should be learning about ourselves in the process, especially if it seems like a relationship that's not doing well, that isn't flourishing in any way. You have to see what are you doing on your end that's contributing to it. Sometimes the overgivers, we can overwater the plant and then we could kill it, you know. And then sometimes the people who are the takers, they tend to be the people that don't water enough. So it's like we all have to see our part in the situation, you know. We all have to see our part, take responsibility for that. So that's it for this reading. I hope this reading was helpful in some way to anyone out there. I really appreciate you all being here, liking, subscribing. I'm sorry that I didn't answer questions, but when I'm home, I do not answer questions. I do not do personal readings in my house. That's how I protect my energy and my space, because it's not only me here, it's my family here. So I have to protect them too. I just want to go through the chat, see if I missed anything. I do want to look at something. So the reason why I wasn't reading the chat is because I want to focus on the reading and not tap into anything specific. Because sometimes I do that when hey Sway, how are you? Hi Ina. Imaginary Corner, thank you for being here. Hi Marcia, hope you're doing well. Everything is good here. Cave Ranger, hunting in the woods, really? Are you a hunter? Oh my gosh, that's not cool. Oh my gosh, shapeshifter. Oh, well, I hope everything's getting better for you, shapeshifter. And I just said I'm not answering questions and people don't listen. Oh my gosh. Hi Tracy, Jenny. Thank you for being back, Margarita and Jenny. Again, thank you so much. Okay, Sumi. No, I already answered that. Avrajita. All right, so I'm going to let everyone go. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hi, Dee. How are you? Yeah, we all have to learn from our mistakes, you know. This is karma for us. This is our karma. Our karma. So I thank you all for being here. Thank you for engaging in the chat, Shapeshifter, especially Cave Ranger. So I hope to see you tomorrow. Hopefully, if I'm able to go to work around 2 p.m. Eastern time. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye. Bye, Margarita.